Hey, you guys. So I wanted to show you something that I found recently, and it is really freaky. First, I want to read you the scripture. It's in Isaiah 13:10. It says, "For the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof shall not give their light. The sun shall be darkened in his going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine." So basically, the sun will be darkened and we won't be able to see the moon or the stars. Now, reading this previously, I always imagined a volcanic eruption, maybe a super volcano like Yellowstone. And I watched a documentary about Yellowstone, and it basically said that it would produce a cloud of volcanic ash so thick and so big that it would cover the whole earth for about a period of 100 years or so. And the sun would still shine, but it would be darkened, it would be dimmed, and we would not be able to see the stars or the moon. And it would cause famines because it would block out our sun. We would not be able to grow food. You won't be able to use solar energy. And it will basically freeze the earth because the heat will not come through the ash cloud. So then I saw this article the other day, and I have to say that it freaked me out. My heart was pounding, and it just really shook me when I read this because I realized that maybe I was wrong. Maybe this is what is going to cause the sun darkening and not being able to see the stars and the moon. Maybe this is what's going to fulfill this scripture. It says, Bill Gates funded chemical cloud could help stop global warming. Yes, you heard that right. This was published in 2019, but it's even closer to being real now. It says fires burning across the Amazon rainforest have renewed the debate about solutions to climate change. Gates is backing the first high-altitude experiment of one radical approach called solar geoengineering. It's meant to mimic the effects of a volcanic eruption. Thousands of planes would fly at high altitudes, spraying millions of tons of particles around the planet to create a massive chemical cloud that would cool the surface. Modeling studies have found that it could reduce the intensity of heat waves. For instance, apparently it could reduce the rate of sea level rise. It could reduce the intensity of tropical storms, said Andy Parker, project director at the Solar Radiation Management Governance Initiative. This technology is not far from being ready, and it's affordable, but it could cause massive changes in regional weather patterns and eradicate the blue sky. These consequences might be horrific. They might involve things like mass famine, mass flooding, drought of kinds that will affect very large populations. I mean, this is idiotic. I do not understand. I mean, this is straight from the pit. How could anyone be so stupid? I'm sorry. I'm a Christian. I shouldn't speak that way. But I mean, it's so obvious that this is the agenda. This is the agenda of the enemy. This also reminds me of something that we've been hearing a lot lately called dark winter. You've heard celebrities, people that are high-ranking government officials talking about a dark winter that is coming. It says the U.S. is likely headed for a dark winter, and here's what that means. So basically, this article is talking about COVID-19 and how it's going to be a rough winter because of the virus. Former Vice President Joe Biden has stated that we're likely to have a dark winter with COVID-19. Well, let me just say, this whole pandemic is paving the way for a new world order. And look at the data, who provided the data. Johns Hopkins University, the same ones that partnered with Gates and the World Economic Forum to host Event 201, a coronavirus pandemic exercise a month before it infected people. Here's another article. This one is dated December 2020. Geoengineers inch closer to sun-dimming balloon test. For years, the controversial idea of solar geoengineering, lofting long-lived reflective particles into the upper atmosphere to block sunlight and diminish global warming, has been theoretical. It's starting to get real. Today, after much technical and regulatory wrangling, Harvard University scientists are proposing a June 2021 test flight of a research balloon designed to drop small amounts of chalky dust and observe its effects. Well, I hate to break it to you guys, but I think they've already started their little experiment. I have been noticing the past few months all these chemtrails all in the sky. I mean, every single day. Start looking up. Look at the sky. There are chemtrails in every single direction. And I seriously think that the past few months, COVID-19 has gotten way worse. And I mean, it's rare to find anyone that doesn't have it. And I believe that they are purposely releasing it. It's an airborne virus. I mean, this could be part of their little experiment and the way that they are paving the way for this new sun dimming technology and their New World Order agenda. You might notice that the large cities with airports have a higher amount of people with COVID, and that might not be because of how many people it is. It could be because of the airports. I wanted to show you this. This is on Wikipedia, and of course they're going to put conspiracy theory because they don't want you to believe it's true. They want people like me to sound psycho. But if you just open your mind and look around, you'll see what I'm saying is true. The chemtrail conspiracy theory posits the belief that long-lasting condensation trails are chemtrails consisting of chemical or biological agents left in the sky by high-flying aircraft, sprayed for nefarious purposes undisclosed to the general public. Believers in this conspiracy theory say that while normal contrails dissipate relatively quickly, contrails that linger must contain additional substances. I mean, that makes sense. Those who subscribe to the theory speculate that the purpose of the chemical release may be solar radiation management, weather modification, psychological manipulation, human population control, biological or chemical warfare, or testing of biological or chemical agents on a population, and that the trails are causing respiratory illnesses and other health problems. Respiratory illnesses. This virus that's going around is a respiratory virus that is airborne. I'm telling you, they are going to blame all of this on global warming, on us, society, for not doing things correctly. And I'm telling you, I really think that global warming is going to be part of the new one world religion. And if you don't already, you should be watching the United Nations. They are going to be the ringleaders. They already have come out with this urgent solutions for urgent times. It is the 2021 Global Great Reset. They also are calling it Sustainable Development Goals. It says they are the blueprint to achieve a better and more sustainable future for all. They address the global changes that we face, including poverty, inequality, climate change, environmental degradation, and peace and justice. Here is a list of what they are saying is their sustainable development goals. Number 17 says partnerships for the goals. That should be screaming New World Order to you. Partnerships from leaders, government officials, rich people, the wealthy like Gates, the big tech giants. They are all going to partner for this sustainable development for the greater good. And looky here who this is, Macron. If you're not sure why I'm pointing him out, message me. I did a video, part 2 of the agenda, that was deleted by YouTube that explains all about Mr. Macron here and his little agenda. But if you send me an email, I will try to send you that video because I do have it downloaded. So this is the Global Citizen website. I want to show you some stuff on here. A campaign, concert, and summit calling on citizens to tackle global injustices by using our collective voice to drive change for everyone, everywhere. So they're all about uniting and being a global citizen. I love this right here. Look at this. This is crazy. Take action to ensure no one is left behind. That's an interesting use of words there. So this is a petition they're sending out to world leaders. Dear world leaders, coronavirus affects all of us. With no respect for borders, the pandemic has shown just how interconnected our world is and the need for us to be united in our response. We are all in this together, but COVID-19 has especially affected the poorest and most vulnerable across our world. Our action must not reflect that same inequality. Please work together to urgently develop tests, treatments, and vaccines against COVID-19 and ensure they're available to everyone everywhere, not just the privileged few. As the virus is brought under control, I call on you to also address its dire impact on those who are already most vulnerable. Make sure the progress we have seen in tackling hunger, gender inequality, education, and climate crisis are not lost in the hands of the pandemic. To do this, the international organizations leading the response to this pandemic, from the WHO and Gavi, the Vaccine Alliance, to those working to alleviate hunger, support water and sanitation, and ensure quality education and more, must have the full support of governments everywhere. Let's build back better for a more equal future. If we work together, we can emerge from this crisis stronger, more united, and safer. Unite for our future. So as you can see, there is a lot going on. These are some snapshots. I want you to go search yourself, go Google some of this stuff, look it up. A lot of this stuff I cannot actually show you because when I do, they delete my videos. So you guys have got to do your own research, please. It's so important.